IL&FS also joins into our conversation now to take us through the last half an hour of trade. Hi Vibhav, thanks for joining us. It's the fag end of the year, so I'm guessing a lot of people have gone on leave. There seems to be no interest in the market, at least up until now. But once the new year begins, which way do you think the winds will blow?
I think we are still in a downtrend. There's so much of uncertainty domestically in terms of what the earnings are going to be. Nobody even knows at all, and how long this is going to last. And then you have the global picture where emerging markets are definitely suffering and are going to continue to suffer for some more time, given the trajectory of interest rates in the US and the trajectory of the dollar. So I think there's still some more downside and some more pain left.
Hi Vibhav, good afternoon and thanks much for joining us. What's the reasonable downside for us, you think?
I would think about 5 to 6% from current levels, and then one would have to review after that. The danger I see is that, if this thing keeps on prolonging, both domestically as well as globally, we may not be sort of entering into a mini bear market. I don't know, but there's a possibility.
Okay. Well, are you picking up anything? I mean, as it is, stocks have fallen a goodish bit from recent highs, at least from November 8th levels. Is there anything that's already looking interesting and fallen only because of what may be a temporary dislocation in the economy?
Yeah, I know if you take a very long-term view, yes, there are probably lots of stocks one can buy. But the problem is that there's, you just don't know. It's not how long, etc. That's one part of it. But we don't know what sort of EPS, is going to get hit for 1 quarter, 2 quarters. How to value, at this point of time, unless you take a 3-year, 2-year view, 3-year view, which is different.
No, but you're not convinced.
And then on top of it.
Sorry. No, I just want to know, aren't you convinced it's a 2-quarter problem?
Yeah.
Aren't you convinced it's a 2-quarter problem? You think it's longer?
No, I am convinced. I think it's a 2-quarter problem, not more than that. But how much of that impact is going to be there, we don't know. One. And secondly, as I was going to say, you have on top of this global situation, which I've been saying earlier also is probably equally or even more important than the domestic issue, because as you rightly said, domestic issue is most likely just a 2-quarter problem and things should sort out after that. But the global situation can last longer. We've seen earlier years when US interest rates go up and the dollar becomes stronger. Things in emerging markets have remained bad for quite long periods of time. And this time around, and this is coming out exactly like what I had anticipated and said earlier, that with the sort of positives which are brewing in the US markets, I think the only place for global investors to invest right now is the US market and maybe Japan because of the yen depreciation. And the emerging markets are going to get sidelined. We don't know for how long.
The pocket that has gotten hit the hardest this year is the pharma space, Vibhav. A lot of these heavyweight stocks, Aurobindo, Sun Pharma, are down 25% in 2016. Do you think things are going to be equally bad in 2017 because of the US FDA issues, or do you find any opportunity here?
Yeah, well, again, we had said quite some time back, in fact, for the last year or so, we've been underweight and not very positive on both pharma and IT. For different reasons. And pharma, of course, one was that valuations had gone up too high in the 3 or 4 years preceding this. And then, of course, this FDA problem which came. So now I think stocks are looking a little more reasonably valued. But we really, need to watch this FDA problem. But then it's a company to company. Pharma is more of a, company to company sort of industry. You can't club all of them together and you have to look at each of them separately. But yes, maybe, things could be a little better from here.
So what's a place to hide? Inside a Maruti car?
I think cash is the best place to hide right now.
Okay, but yeah, cash that is legal tender, of course. I take your point.
Yes.
But I mean, what might lead the downside, you think? You said 5%, which is the most vulnerable side. Is it financials by any chance?
Yeah, I think it's almost everything. Financials, automobiles, maybe the commodity trade may sort of reverse for some time, so they could fall from here. Yeah, the only sector probably which might temporarily do a little better could be IT, because the rupee is depreciating a little bit and IT has fallen a lot, although the medium term for IT is still very obscure and not all that bright. But in the short term, maybe that can outperform a little bit.
Okay, so when you briefly said a while back that we could be staring at the possibility of a mini bear market. What did you mean by that? Is it like a market where you see a lot of time correction, prolonged period of no growth at all, or are we staring at a big price correction in the first half of the year?
Yeah, no, I don't think we are staring at a very big price correction, even if it turns out to be a mini bear market. So in that case, instead of 5%, maybe by the time the markets bottom out, you could see a 10% fall from here, not more than that. But in terms of time, it could prolong, because normally a correction in a bull market should not last more than 3 months. I think we've already been more than 3 months into this correction. But if it turns out to be a mini bear market type of thing, it could go on for maybe 6 to 8 months.
Oh.
So it'll be more time rather than price.
Okay. Well, we will also be staring at the budget on February 1st, and markets usually have a way of beginning to hope. Will not that arrest the downtrend? And in any case, what are you working with as a budget hope?
Yeah, so I think that's one positive light which is there in the future. Given what has happened with the demonetization slowdown, etc., I think the budget is going to be really very, very positive. I think the government is really keen to see to it that a lot of these temporary reverses in the industry, etc., are reversed. A lot of them can be done through the budget, hopefully. So that, I think, is definitely going to be very positive. But the point is that, let's say the market has gone down by another 5% before the budget, say to 76, 77, and then a good budget can again push it back to maybe 81, 82, 83. But I think the resumption of a proper bull market will not happen till the market crosses maybe something like 8,500. And that's where, the difficulty arises.
Okay, Vibhav, we leave it at that. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas to you in advance. We'll see you again only